there. Today I'm going to talk to you about our resiliency receptacle. You can think of this glass bowl as your resiliency receptacle. We all have a threshold of how much we can handle before it spills over, let's say. So imagine the top of this is our threshold. So what is it that's going to make it flow over? What goes into our resiliency receptacle? Pretty much anything challenging you've ever lived in your life. If you stubbed a toe, if you scraped your knee when you fell, if you've had a car accident, maybe you had a surgery, you had your wisdom teeth out, maybe you lost your job, you're having sleepless nights, you're eating foods that are high in sugar and processed crap because you don't have the time or the energy to cook well. Let's say you have chronic pain. Maybe you've herniated a disc. Maybe you lost someone who means a lot to you and there's grief. You can see that what I'm talking about is not just physical, but emotional and psychological challenges all fill up our resiliency receptacle. Okay, well that's all right because we are built to handle a lot. But what happens when we get to the threshold, when we get to the top, tiny like this, and you put that in and now the whole thing overflows. What does the overflow feel like in your body? Usually pain or inflammation or anxiety or some sort of physical something. So all it takes is one more thing, and it could be this small. Say, for example, you pick up a pencil from your desk, and now all of a sudden you overflow your receptacle and you find you can't move your back for 2 weeks. It's not that your back is fragile. It's not that your back is so weak that you should never ever pick up a pencil again. It's not about the back. It's about how much resiliency you have based on all of those other things. Well, there's good news to this, because the good news is that we can use all of those different things to create more space in our resiliency receptacle. So if you do breath practices, you create more space. Mindfulness practices. Every time you do movement and it feels good. Every time you do movement and it makes you feel strong and resilient. Every time you go out with friends and you laugh. Every time you get out in nature. Every time you have a successful relationship. Every time you do well at your job. Every time you have a good night's sleep. Every time you have a meal that's full of nutrition and phytonutrients. You can have manual therapy, osteopathy, physio, massage, acupuncture, athletic therapy, anything that makes you feel good. Hands-on yourself, doing hands-on work, even just brushing the skin, functional neurology exercises, journaling, creativity, doing something that's playful and creative. All of these things and more create more space in your resiliency receptacle so that as the stressors of life come in, which they will continue to do, it's okay. Picking up a pencil is not gonna make your back feel awful for 2 weeks because you've got the space to handle it. You've got the resiliency in your whole system. So start working on not just your physical body and where you feel your pain, but all of the other factors that might be contributing to overflowing your receptacle. If this analogy was helpful for you, let me know in the comments. And every time you like, subscribe, and share, it helps me to get this information out to more people. So pass it along.